there's actually a word for it. They call women basically like expired women. After that age and after you have kids, again, another part of your life has also expired. Do we want to live our life thinking we have these phases that just expire, or do we create our own?
Marina is a brand expert helping entrepreneurs and small business owners build pivot proof and true to self personal brands to grow their platforms, make money, and live vivaciously. Resilience, such an important topic because think about it. This past year and a half has been such a challenge for a lot of us, whether it's been in our businesses or even our personal lives. And today, Marina's here with me to talk about what resilience look like in her life over time, right? Or even now, to enable her to continue to show up and continue to visualize the dream that she has for herself and her business. And despite everything that comes, in front of us every single day in this crazy world. And so I'm excited to have you on the show, Marina. Thank you so much for joining me. And today we are going to talk about resilience. And if you were to describe what resilience means to you, what would that be? What would be your definition?
Ooh, such a great topic. Thank you, Martine. I think when I think of resilience, I think the process of falling down and getting back up, but it's a continuous flow. So it's a continuous flow of like falling down and realizing there's an opportunity for you to get back up. And when you get back up, you've learned from this experience so that when things happen over and over again, you do have that like past experience of how to deal with that situation. So you're constantly growing, you're constantly stronger, and you're a more adaptable person. So I think like when I think of resilience, the word adaptable comes to mind as well. That's how I view it. I mean, in my life, basically, that has been a consistent theme as well.
Yeah, it definitely,
Yeah.
I mean, life is a moving target, right? And I
Yeah.
love that you mentioned the word adapting because to me, it definitely rings the bell of stay present, understand what happened here,
Yeah.
because and I'll give you the opportunity to share one or two stories as to what that looked like in your life, being resilient. When
Mm-hmm.
did you fall down and how did you get up? Because I think that's what it is that's hard for us, right?
Yep.
When we fall down, we're down. And how do we find the grit to get back up? And so if you don't mind sharing one or two stories as to what that looked like in your life.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I was born in Egypt and raised in Kuwait. So when I was a baby, my parents took me to Kuwait, had no choice in the life I was living, really. And then, we went, I was sent to university in Egypt. Again, no choice there. And then the Egyptian revolution happened. When that happened, I thought in all of these transitions that, my world is like crumbling down. Like I have to keep adapting every time I switched into a different culture in a different setting. But when the Egyptian revolution happened, my dad actually one day came in and was like, we're all going to interview for a visa to the US. And yeah, we're going. I booked flight tickets. So we interviewed, crossed our fingers that we're going to get the visas. And literally that same week, we had to pack up our whole life and move to the US. And at that point, I didn't understand why we're doing that. I mean, I was 19 at that time. And yeah, my parents also chose Texas out of all the places in the US. So it was like a big, like, shock for me. I mean, I'm the oldest of my siblings. I was the one who was in university. I was like, supposed to be in the years where I kind of like build relationships and figure out who I am as a person. So when we moved, it was like a shock, the whole experience. And it was a difference in, I had to like actually be the family's translator because like my parents didn't speak English. I went to lawyers to file for asylum papers. I was the one talking to them. I had to translate all these, like, as a 19-year-old, I was like, I don't know any of what do these words mean, and why are we doing this? So that was a really tough time. And I remember also we could not get a place to live because when you're in the US, you have to have income coming in to prove that you qualify for an apartment. So we had to like find a friend to co-sign us. The first day we're there, we all slept on the floor. It was very, and coming from, like, my parents are both like self-made people and they've made good money when they were living in Kuwait. So I grew up with that comfort. So when we had to switch, it was like, it was a big reset for me in all aspects of my life, all of it, whether it's money. Actually, my dad was like, we're in the US now, you have to go and earn your own money. When you live in Egypt and you grow up in Egypt, usually, specifically women, but most young people stay with their parents and your parents pay for everything until you get married and have your own home, and then that's when you leave. But even then you have your parents' support. So my parents were paying for my university when I was in Egypt. I had to go to the US. It was like a total like shift in everything. Now I had to go work. I was like, wow, I have to work and I had to make my own money. But that was the beginning of everything for me because I learned how to be independent. I learned how hard and easy it is to make money. So now my relationship with money is very fluid. I just know that every time there's a dip, I mean, seeing my parents also like, make good money and then go into like a time of like, we all had to work to support the family and then going back up again. Now they have a beautiful house in Texas. It's just very, I think that was one of the most like life-changing experiences for me because I had to change my relationship with money, my dependency on other people, and also I had to be more resourceful with like what I do and how I do, and get comfortable speaking with, I mean, at 19, speaking with lawyers is scary. Going to court is very scary. Like all these things I've never had to do before. Yeah, so that was the start of, a big shift for me. And once I found this basically newfound freedom of making my own money, I started saving up and I decided, what is the wildest thing I can do right now? After skydiving, I actually booked I booked a one-way ticket
I have to
to
stop you
Asia.
right there. Skydiving is definitely on my list, but girlfriend, I am freaking out. I told my husband, I remember I just turned 40 like a year ago, and I was like, years back, I was like, when I turn 40, I'm going to go skydiving. That did not happen. And my husband's like, when are you going to do that? When you're 75 years old? I'm like, yeah, probably not. Oh, kudos to you. Oh my gosh. Keep on. Tell me.
You should do it. It's the one thing you do and you never want to do again, at least for me. I thought I was dying.
I love it. So you bought a one-way ticket? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so I bought a ticket to Thailand and I started off in Thailand, didn't know anything, only booked like one night at a hostel. And I just decided I'm going to backpack. I'm going to try this whole backpacking thing. I hear other people do it. I read about the blogs. I'm like, I have the money. I had like quite a bit of money saved, which was like, Middle Eastern, North African culture. There's the whole like, your parents need to co-sign every single thing that you do. So for me at that time, I was like, this is my money. I already bought the ticket. You guys don't need to co-sign anything. I'm going. I am going. This is my freedom. This is my money. And that was the start of like my travel adventures. And I have not stopped since. And right now I travel full time. It's something that I really, really love doing. Of course, when, COVID like started at the beginning, it was very challenging because I just felt like I was kind of earning money to do that, to just do more of travel. But now I've incorporated into my lifestyle. So it's more of I work and travel at the same time. But yeah, that's one of the stories.
I love it. I have to tell you, listen, if you're watching this and you're not inspired by this story right now, I don't know what else to do for you, because you have just described what life should be. Money flowing, you're traveling, you're showing up for what makes you happy and brings you joy. And what's the worst that could happen? That's what I'm hearing from this story, right? It's about
Exactly.
really paying attention to what's around. And I love that you shared, Marina, about being resourceful, because so many of us, right, we tend to hold on our dreams and say, you know what, I'm not ready. I don't have this. I don't have the money. I don't have the house. I don't have this. So I'm going to wait and wait and wait. And for you watching, listen, we're not saying don't wait, but definitely tap into and pay attention to that firing desire inside your heart that's telling you, guess what? You totally could take one bag, get a one-way ticket, and go. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Marina did it, and she is absolutely an inspiration. I love it. And I also can relate with, the whole adapting and culture shock. For me personally, I grew up part of my life in Africa and part of my life in Haiti before I made my way up to New York City. And from that point on, when I dived into corporate America and whatnot, I ended up traveling to Asia. I've been to Thailand, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and all those places. And I remember, the first time I got to Shanghai, for example, I was just in awe, like, because I was ready to receive. And so what we're talking about here, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Marina, it's not just about, embracing what's happening and being resourceful, but it's also being ready to receive what's coming your way and staying positive, right? Staying positive.
Yeah.
So talking about staying positive and making sure that you have that resiliency, because we want to help you watching right now. Marina and I are dedicated and committed. And by the way, keep watching, because towards the end, Marina is going to share with you where you can connect with her, because you should absolutely do that. Let's talk more about, how do you get a hold on staying resilient? Because girlfriend, waking up every morning, and I know for me, I try not to watch the news so much because it just drains me down. Let's talk about your daily routine, morning routine, perhaps, or whatever you're doing during the day to get you going. Is there like one tip that you could share with us?
Absolutely. I love everything you just shared right now, Martine. Like this is the source of it all, right? Is the being ready to receive. And I just want to pause right there and just say that this is the most important thing, is being ready to receive the things that you want in life. A lot of us go through life thinking that we want these things, but we're not ready. We're not allowing space for these things to happen, to form in our life, right? You want to travel, but you're not creating the space for you to go, or like you're not building up your account to go there. You're spending on the things that are still keeping you in the same place. So any of those things that you do should set you up to being ready to receive, and ready to receive not even just in like, oh, I'm going to save up to do this. It could just be the mentality of being open. I'm open to these experiences. I'm open to whatever happens to me right now. Because going back to what you said, Martina, is like, what is the worst that could happen? You go back to what you were doing before. And that's a comfortable place. Anytime you go back to what you're doing before, that's just a comfortable place. I could go back. I don't have a house right now, and in the US or anything. My parents are there, knock, knock, hello. It's not ideal. I don't want to do that. Or I could go back to New York, get a sublease an apartment and stay there and look for a corporate job. I just know that whatever I do, this is a chance that I'm taking now to receive what I know I need in my life. And what I think it's okay to say what we deserve in life too. We
Absolutely.
deserve this joy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And listen,
Yeah.
we as much as, whatever you believe in, you're watching, you believe in God, universe, whatever that power that you're believing in. listen, at the end of the day, it's there to guide you, but you also have control. You also have control.
Exactly.
And so the reality is you know, not everyone can take the leap, right? That's why we do what we do. That's why Marina does what she does. And I always say this, do not be afraid to reach out for help, because, you know, doing something uncomfortable takes a lot. It takes a lot. And, you know, let's talk about timing, because we talked about most of us holding back. I don't have the money yet. I don't have this yet. What about those of us that are like in our 50s, 60s, or perhaps, you know, we're 19 right now. We're like, well, I don't know. My parents want me to do this. They have this plan for me. Is there the right time? Like, does it matter what age you're at? What if you want to go away and you're like, you have 3 kids that are older? Like, is that okay? I just want you to say to that person watching right now, I want them to hear that your answer. If they're saying right now, yeah, I feel it, but guys, I see you guys are so young, beautiful, showing up, talking, but I don't got that. I'm old, but I do want to live my life. What do you say to someone like that, that's like not wanting to open up because of their age?
Oh, this is a really tough one. I don't think there is a right time, but the reason I say it's a tough one, because in the culture that I come from, there are certain things that expire after a certain age, and that even includes marriage. After 23, 24, your prime marriage age, you're expired. There's actually a word for it. They call women basically like expired women. After that age and after you have kids, again, another part of your life has also expired. Do we want to live our life thinking we have these phases that just expire, or do we create our own? I really believe that we create our own. We're not milk. We can create these own, like, phases in our lives. Yes, maybe you have children, they're all grown up, and now is your time to go. This is the time. I've actually was talking to a woman who, she was asking me about my travel stories, and she was like just listening, and her eyes lit up, and she was just very like, she went into this like dream-like state, and she's like, I've been wanting to go to Greece for so long. I was like, so why are you not going? She's like, the kids. I was like, your kids are old, your kids are engaged, like what are you waiting for? She's like, I just want to make sure they're okay. I'm like, make sure you're okay too. Go live out your dreams. Like, when are you going to do that? So I think the time is now. Actually, this is very aligned in my stories today on Instagram. I was like, the only person you need to wait on, or the only sign, or the only thing is you. Like, you're just waiting on you. But we're always being taught to find the logic in our decisions, just conditioning. We're always looking for logic, reason, and we forget to lean into and trust this like intuitive feeling. We always have a little bit of a gut feeling that's telling us, like, and I know it's more prominent in other people, than, not everyone has it and not everyone's tuned into it, but we all know, we all know deep down what we want to do. We always say the but, there's always the buts.
There's always the but. And whether it's like you said, like the story you mentioned about the conversation you had, it's either because of our surrounding, the people we love. Listen, I have to confess something. My son just turned 10, and first day of school asked me why I was crying. It's not like he was going to kindergarten. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sharing this because it's like the phases that you mentioned, right? And in 10 years, it'll be 20, who knows, right? It's for us to really look at ourselves, like you said, and doing that work of looking at ourselves in the mirror and asking ourselves, without that logic, right? What do I want? What makes me happy? Are they gonna be okay? Yes, they're gonna be okay. Yes, my son's gonna be fine. He's the one that was like, why are you crying? And so I love that. Everything will be okay. For you watching, that's the biggest message here. Everything will be okay. And so you mentioned Instagram. Tell us more about you and the work that you do, and I can feel the energy, I can feel the passion, I'm feeling it in this audio, whatever video thing right now. And so pour into us right now, tell us what's going on and how we can connect with you, Marina.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a big Instagram girl. I love Instagram. It's the place to have the one-on-one conversations, go on stories, go live. I love it. So if you want to connect with me, find me on Instagram, send me a direct message, send me a DM, and we will have a conversation. I have friends on Instagram that I need to meet all around the world. But basically, I am a brand coach and strategist for new entrepreneurs and also entrepreneurs who are relaunching their brand. The thing that I focus on is helping you build a brand that feels true to yourself. I value that so much because that's how I built my brand. It is finding joy in running your business and running your business in a way that is in alignment of what you want, whether that's the lifestyle, how you want to serve others, in being present with your family, in your time, even in the money that you want to make. I feel like it's all about that word alignment and being true to who you are. So that's what I help people build, basically online brands that feel like them, that bring them more joy, that help them live the lifestyle that they want. I'm a big advocate for quitting corporate.
Listen, honey, okay, this is going to be another episode, okay? Because ditching the 9 to 5 is totally going to be a season. By the way, make sure you stay tuned in, because I know for a fact, because I come from that world, and I ditched it. We're going to be talking about it. And so I'm with you, girlfriend. Yes, yes. Tell me more. So is there a program, or perhaps once we connect with you? I love, by the way, that you're giving us the invitation to DM you and connect with you on a personal level. I love that, because, you know, the internet has this tendency, specifically social media has this tendency of making us feel a certain type of way. Oh, look at her. She's in Thailand. She's in this. She's better than me. I can't talk to her. But, you know, I love that you are opening up the space for us to say, I'm just like you. I get it. Reach out. So you heard the invitation. So do not hesitate to reach out to Marina. Her Instagram handler is going to be shared with you. And so definitely connect. So tell us a little bit more quickly about how you work. Like once we connect with you and we're like, okay, I want to rebrand, for example, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I actually have two main core services right now. You can join one of my coaching programs. I have the group program, which is actually launching. It's opening up for signups this month, and it's launching in October. I actually just wrapped up the summer cohort, which was incredible. It was, oh my God, I love working with so many people at one time just because of the community, the feedback that everyone can get, and the access to other people's like energies as well. So basically it's a 12-week program where I help you build your brand from scratch. So this is great for someone who is building their brand from zero. They're stuck. They don't know what they want to do. They want to find joy. They want to build this life, this vivacious life. So, and I help them figure out a way to monetize their skills, to market themselves online, of course, authentically in a way that's aligned. And I help you basically figure out your funnels, all of that. We go through it in 12 weeks. The other core service that I offer is the social media branding package. It is a complete package. It's perfect for my entrepreneurs who've been in the game for a while. They're like, I'm tired of this. I know I need a rebrand. I know I need to relaunch, and I'm tired of just feeling fake, like feeling disconnected from my brand. If that's you, that package would be for you. Basically, it's a 6-week package. We don't get on calls. It's not coaching, but we do a VIP day where we get to talk about everything strategy in your brand. I like rip the brand apart, put it back together, and then I also deliver a whole set of like social media assets, branding, colors, your mood board. So you have everything from A to Z figured out, so that on Instagram, you're just like, all you're doing is coming up with the ideas, your content ideas, and you're posting. no excuses not to show up anymore. So that's basically my two main offers. And something that I do that's fun right now is I also host retreats for women. So if you're like, I just want to travel with you, I want to learn some stuff about branding, but mainly I want to travel and I'm scared and I want to find a community, then my retreats would be ideal. We have one in Bali in April. So if you'd like to join, we have some spaces left. Let's go to Bali, 7 nights.
Gosh, so good, so good. Listen, if you're watching this and it's past the time of all the launches that Marina is talking about, and you're like, I missed it, shoot. Listen, you did not miss anything. What you need to do is connect with Marina. She just shared with you what she has coming up, but that doesn't mean that if you're watching this and it's July 2022, that you're like, oh my God, I wanted to go to Bali. Yeah. Let me tell you, she's going to have another retreat. Okay. And so calm down. You got this. The point is, again, this show is about visualizing your life, your business, and starting to create it. Right. And so I don't know about you, but if you have been thinking of becoming an entrepreneur, or perhaps you are an entrepreneur right now and you're struggling with what the heck am I going to look like on Instagram, on Facebook, or whatever it is on social media, I don't know, but the solution's right here. Marina just shared with you stuff. And so I invite you to reach out to her. I love this conversation so much, Marina. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm going to say it right now. This is not going to be the last time because we are going to talk about ditching that 9 to 5, something I'm totally passionate about. And I would love to hear your feedback. And so if you enjoyed this episode, do connect with Marina. Follow her Instagram, send her a message, let her know that you watched this. Leave a review on Amazon on this episode, because I don't know about you, but I'm all fired up. Listen, before we got on, Marina was like, oh my gosh, Martine, you're glowing right now. I'm burning. This is so good energy. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on, Marina, truly.
Thank you. Thank you, Martine. Your energy, I just feel it through the screen. And that's the beauty of being true to who you are. It's just, I feel it. I feel like I'm in the room with you. Beautiful. Thank you so much for bringing me on, for giving me the platform to share my story as well. And I just hope that everyone can find the ability to like come back up, you know, that's what resilience is all about. So I'm wishing resilience and adaptability and joy to everyone who's listening. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.